Great great evening, morning now, 12 a.m., right? Great morning, great Saturday morning now. But this is still my Friday live. Almost still Friday, but now Saturday. Hi, this is Catherine Beasley here with day 18, not in a row, but day 18 of our Self-Everything series. And we're back talking about self-identity. So I have it part two. And again, self-identity, the recognition of one's potential and qualities as an individual, especially in relation to social context. And today's subtopic is Know Thyself, Upgrade Thyself. So, wanted to start by saying again how important it is, I have this ready, for you to really gain an understanding of who you are in order to become the person that you want to be. Because if you don't change the dialogue that you have with yourself every day, all day, then what you're going for and the type of goals that you're setting for yourself, you might develop the type of habits that'll help you reach that goal. But if you don't develop the type of habits that stick because of your new identity and because you are becoming exactly what you want, right? Becoming that instead of doing everything you need to get that goal. And then now that you've reached that goal, it hasn't really changed who you are internally. So you're going to revert back to who you were and not keep up with what it is that you were doing in order to reach that goal, because that goal was the result that you wanted. Once you reached it, your psyche just says, okay, I did it. But when you make the changes that you want to be a part of your life, a part of who you are, we talked about the fact that, right, I am a morning person instead of I'm going to start waking up every morning at 6 a.m. for the next 30 days, right? The next 30 days come, you do it, and then because you're still telling yourself you're not a morning person, but at least you did it for 30 days, then you're going to revert back to those old habits. And so that's just one example of it, but you really want to make sure that you are becoming what it is that you want to be, right? That goal you want, then you're going to tell yourself and manifest that in your own mind so that the negative self-talk or the talk that has you thinking that you aren't what you want to be, that you're not capable of being that, are going to come back and override any progress that you've made. So we're talking about know thyself and then upgrade thyself. Take a sheet of paper, take some time and list out who you are, adjectives that describe you to yourself, adjectives that you've heard or words that people have used to describe you to you. Even if you don't agree with them, just keep a list, positive list of these types of words and adjectives that describe you, and then also a negative list, right? Because you want to pay attention to what it is that you feel about yourself, whether it's positive or negative. We're always being honest with ourselves and looking at ourselves in the mirror with open eyes and ready to make that change once we see what it is, we recognize what it is that we don't want in ourselves, and then we're going to go ahead and start to do the things that we need to do to change that. So we're always honest with ourselves, in which case you're making a list of all the positive attributes that you think of yourself and that you've heard others say about you, and the ones that are negative, especially when they are ones that you want to change. Positive habits that you have, negative habits that you have. Write these things down. And right, number one, write them down. I've been typing some things, but I'm writing them as well, because when you write them, you're reinforcing them for yourselves. And then that's who you are right now. If it's positive and that's who you want to continue to be, great. And if you have something that's positive, but you want to change it a little bit, even, you're going to write on the other side of that page. So on one side of the page, you're writing the positive and negative attributes. On the other side, correlating to that, you're going to add what you want to be. If you are a procrastinator, as one of the negative attributes, who do you want to become? What habit related to activity that right? Who do you want to become as opposed to being a procrastinator? You want to be someone who takes action immediately. Say, if you are a nighttime snacker, right? Who do you want to become? Someone who doesn't snack at night anymore. You have health goals, then who am I? Do I eat well? If not, I want to become someone who eats better, right? And one of the things that you want to do is take a look at it, right? So if you are looking to be a particular type of person and you're not that yet, then look at or think about the type of attributes and habits that a person who is that has and use those to help you guide yourself to develop those same habits that they have so that you can become that too. So it's okay for us to be where we are. We always recognize and celebrate ourselves for where we are. We've come a long way. You write a list of all the things you survived, you want to jump for joy, right? So we always accept what we've been through and where we are. And we have that as our starting point. And then you're going to go ahead and make these adjustments, right? These assessments and adjustments to become who you want to be. And I guarantee you guys, if you take the time to do this for yourselves and really just think about it, it'll make a huge difference, at least because it puts it in your mind. It helps you to just keep it in the forefront of what it is. And now when you start to do some of those things that are not getting you where you want to be and not taking you to the next level, then you maybe recognize it immediately and try to tweak that attitude, tweak that activity, because you want to make sure that you're always in alignment with who you're trying to be. So take the time to do that exercise. People, let me know what you think. How'd you feel when you did it? It's going to require a level of vulnerability with yourself unless you're sharing it with someone, and then you have to be vulnerable enough to them to write that down and say what it is, right? Positive and negative about yourself. And you're not accepting essentially, certainly the negative from other people, but you are acknowledging that that's what it is. And then even if you don't agree with it, you're going to write it down. But always take the time to do that next step. Who do you want to be? What do you want to change into so that you're moving forward and you're giving yourself a positive target too. You're not just stuck. Okay, I've identified and now what, right? You have it and now you're going to move to the next phase of who you want to become. What are some things you can do to become that person? But also think about what types of habits and behaviors those type of people exhibit and remind yourself of that whenever you want to do things that are opposite of what it is that you claim you want to be, the person that you want to be. Alrighty, so as always, let me know what you think. Let me know how you're doing with the activity, what you thought about that. And if you like what you're hearing and you want to become a part of our budding community of people who are coming together to support and just have this discussion about self, because we're all at some point experiencing a feeling of self-doubt, lack of confidence, and things like that. Everything to do with you internally. And if you don't address that, then all of your future activities, the things that you're trying to do for yourself, ultimately you're going to have issues with them because it's all a mindset thing. And if your mind isn't prepared for the future that you want, then you might attain some of that success, but it's not going to stick with you because of it. So this self community is designed to help us start to identify the different pieces and put them all in place so that we can elevate and stay there, right? And continue to move on instead of backtracking. So again, join our Self Everything Facebook group to become a part of that community. And I will speak to you all tomorrow.